reckon when we go back to town, we could get our new mummy to look after our axe beaks out in town. I don't think taking them would be good, but it'd be handy to have someone to look after the axe beaks while we are off adventuring. What do you guys reckon?
Yeah. We could use him for labor, and well, I don't know. I don't have much of a moral. I don't think it's much of a moral quandary because he's undead.
I think that's for a question for Scar and what the Morning Lord has to say about that.
Yeah.
Is there anything mission related? Could use him for?
Well, I don't think we can do what you suggested last time about sending him off to find cure for the Red Star.
I don't think so.
I think he might need a bit more direction than that. But I reckon. Well, now that we've got him, I reckon we could use him for looking after our aspects while we're in town. But I think he's not someone that we should be necessarily dragging into town without creating panic and stuff. Being guard and stuff like that. Having the undead walking through town normally gets the town guard up in arms.
He's a social outcast, and well, in sociology terms, he'd be a deviant. I wonder also if there was some reason why we were meant to raise him from the dead, with all the whole hullabaloo about the rituals and the hand and stuff like that, and the instructions. Must be a deeper reason why he's awake right now.
Oh, so Kim, you told us last time his name's Sanar, is that right?
Sanar. I'll type it out.
Sanar. Well, it was S-A-H-N-A-R, right? Yeah.
Right.
Does that name ring any bells for you?
I
For me.
would say only Shijaya might have an idea.
Just ask her. Oh wait, where'd she go?
Actually, I might. Let's have a look here. And I get advantage on intelligent checks to recall information about undead.
Oh,
Would that be?
Yeah, sure.
We do that? Okay, so an intelligence check, right?
A history check.
History check, okay. Which is okay. Advantage. Give it a go. Oh dear. 15, 16.
Yeah. About the only thing. Let me roll for Shijaya before we go any further. Just bring up her character sheet. Oh dear. That's why you don't get the DM to roll for you. Shijai has no idea. The only thing that strikes you, Tarvin, is the name Sanar. You don't know anything about who or what that could be. You just know it's a particularly ancient elven type of name. Like a type of elven name that's perhaps gone out of fashion. Sanar would be
He's
a
old.
common name very, very long ago.
Yeah.
Now, not so much. So the only thing he knows is a very ancient elven type of name. And looking at the decayed corpse, he does look like an elven. Like it's very, I guess he's lithe anyway, but just the general bone structures and features and everything appears to be like an elven.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, does Sanar remember when last he was active?
It was a long, long time ago. I've been waiting years, centuries perhaps, for someone to free me.
Why were you imprisoned? Yeah, sorry.
I don't think he was necessarily imprisoned. If you're put in a sarcophagus, it could just be because you're dead.
Let's ask him.
How'd you end up in the sarcophagus?
By my people in the sarcophagus because I was a king
this too was worthy. I definitely died, but at some point, life returned to me. But it was not pleasant in the sarcophagus. This is why I serve you.
Well,
How do you feel now, in your state of undeath?
Grateful. I have felt bitter. I should be honest.
Arvin,
mm-hmm.
is it right to have a slave, especially an undead one?
Well, I
Even
don't
if
think
he
we.
is suffering.
But yeah, I'm not saying we should enslave him, but if we can't just set him free, what would he do? I don't know. Maybe we could. Maybe he wouldn't go far.
Now, Scar, you play Scar wherever you like, of course, but the Morning Lord has always had a very, and especially dim view about the undead. There's a long history of them fighting the undead, and there's talks of them being especially effective against undead. So, they could turn them better, they could slay them better.
Well, I had another thought, which is we've got this Shardalin, some of those Shardalin necklaces and stuff. Could we charge Seinar with the task of defending this tomb from anyone trying to take the Shardalin? Maybe go and, because we know that the tomb's hard to get into, because we need to invoke the magic spells.
Yes, that's true.
So you know where we got the arrowheads from, that other little tomb? Maybe we could replace them in there and get Seinar here to defend it from evil grave robbers, because there's nothing more wicked than evil grave robbers.
Yeah, and if we really find a use for him, we can always come back. And we'll get those 2 potions as well. There's a couple of potions here, is that right? Or 3 potions?
There was a scroll of knock. And
Scroll.
And something else, I'll just look it up.
It's 2 potions or something.
I don't think we got to those because they're sealed in the other room.
That's what I mean. If we ever come back, we'll just have to remember to get those.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the scroll of knock was used as well. If that's the one that was on Rasputin, whatever her name is, Rashvin, whatever. Ravison, there we go. Got it around the wrong way. I think Ravison had used the knock spell in order to get out.
Okay. It was either that or we drag him along with us, and such a noble being at one point. Seems a bit tragic, doesn't it?
I think so too.
Well, it's just whether his service would put him to rest or not.
Perhaps
I
don't
understand.
Say that. Yeah, maybe that very thing. Like, what is your desire apart from to serve us?
That is my sum total. As I vowed centuries ago to serve those who freed me. I live to serve.
And Ravison pipes up and says, "What in the God's name are you doing? Moralize against me and my decisions, and here are you making deals with the undead. The very abominations. Should slay it where it stands."
Mullenbuck, I know you have an opinion on this.
The undead are abominations. They took the balance against nature greatly. No druids have a love for them.
Well, how about we put him back in his sealed tomb, since it's hard to get them out, and get him to protect those Chardlin pieces that we've gathered. Because to me that seems like he's given a job, but he's not free to roam around and cause any problems, and he's actually doing a service, something that we needed to do anyway, which is stop the Chardlins falling into the Duragar's hands.
Or if you want to imprison someone who's just told you how happy he is to be free.
Exactly. What says Scar?
But we're imprisoning him with a purpose.
We're torturing a man to our own ends, even an undead creature. I fear that is an even worse thing. What's their use, Scar?
As a player, though, isn't just the player speaking, isn't asking, ordering him to sleep, him serving us? Yeah, Scar's not into this at all. He's not saying much. He's also my internet keeps dropping in and out. Sorry, guys.
Well, personally, Tarvin has nothing against
He's not into this.
traveling with him. I know that's not a popular opinion right
Undead
now.
are inherently evil.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot more
certainly
at
imagine.
work here. I think he's made a vow, and he's a very ancient being of some stature and respect when he was around, kicking around alive. I think there's a lot more here, and definitely some magic.
Can either of our magic-using druids detect whether he has evil intent overall, like a detection of evil? Or is that something you can Scar? Do you know, is this a cursed being?
I was looking at my divine sense, and it says that as an action you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by a hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead. But the first part of it, you can detect good or evil, so I was wondering if... Yeah.
Oh, let me do a bit of rule-lawyering. This is what you'll be doing is effectively casting the Detect Evil and Good spell, and there is no spell in D&D that will tell you this creature is evil or this creature is good, because it kind of strikes right at the heart of role-playing. Is this the bad guy? Let's cast a spell and find out. So there's no such spell. What Detect Evil and Good will do is tell you what is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. Now, similarly, you can know if a place has been magically consecrated, i.e. blessed ground, or desecrated, cursed ground. But you will not know inherently if you cast it on Snar whether he is good or evil. Just if he's one of those things. And obviously the strong suspicion is that he's undead. So Detect Evil doesn't tell you that he's evil.
So I'm not a user of magic, and I'm not a particularly religious dwarf, but I was just wondering, is this tomb a consecrated and holy place, or do you think this is a desecrated, foul place, Scar? I'll take your judgment on that, and does he have any sense of the nature of this tomb?
Well, Scar will, oh, hang on, mate, let me check it out. He'll switch into divine sense and see what he gets in general. He suspects that this is undead. So, but what about the ground itself? What are we thinking?
You reach out with your divine sense, and what you discover is, to the surprise of no one, Snar is undead, if you were surprised. What you also learn are these grounds are neither consecrated or desecrated, just normal ground.
Right. Yeah, seems what, sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, the whole fact that we had to burn a hand kind of lends towards the dark side of magic, right?
Easily, yeah. And these
Why
guys
would-
are not holy, but then they don't seem very evil.
I
Not
think
just normal every day.
I think whoever unlocked the sarcophagus was meant to have a powerful slave, and that was the dark intent. But I think we should flip that and use this slave for good. We'll find a noble cause for him and leave him to it. Something better, yeah, something quite noble. Make the best of a bad situation.
Get him to sit here and think about all his evil deeds until we get back.
Well, that was
Does
what
he-
I was saying. Is we
Like
could
a
give them
naughty
the
boy.
purpose of protecting the Shardlin, and because we've got this nice tomb that we can seal off, we could maybe even remove one of the little statue head things here that tell them the ingredients you need to open them, therefore making it harder for them to get into the tomb. So I reckon we could put all these Shardlin pieces into his tomb, reseal it, and then doesn't that help us in our quest, or do you think we need to use the Shardlin later? I thought we were sort of
I
tasked
swore to take down the winter goddess lady thing. So I'll do whatever it takes, but hanging out with undead. Which is why putting him back in his tomb, I'm all down with that.
All I hear is moral justification. You are all truly pathetic. You've unleashed an evil on the word, and you're twisting and turning and thinking about ways you can serve the undead. You'll be known as necromancers from this point on.
Oh, that really hurts coming from you. Oh, feeling it in my heart.
Yeah, that's a low blow.
That's the lady who tried to kill me, right?
Shut up, Beak. Yes, that was the lady who tried to kill all of you, and yeah.
We could task the mummy to pester her for the rest of her existence.
You had to just point at her into her
I
stuff.
don't know, yeah, just follow her and tap her shoulder constantly.
But no, I thought we
Hey,
decided.
what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing?
I thought we were going to take her back to the town so that she could explain herself to the locals. And we could tell about what we observed. So then we could then travel on to help out down on the lake where she had awakened that ancient water beast. Was that not the plan? And then on our way down to Bremen, then if we pick up any more rumours about the ship that we're looking for with the Dragon Horde, or excuse me, the Ice Spire, that Netherall place.
Well, if we're not going to use this mummy, then we should just kill it. For good this time.
In
You
the
reckon?
morning.
But I mean, if we gave it that service of protecting the stuff, and then we could come back, we know that it's here and it's somewhat guarded.
That's if it follows its word.
Well, I don't know how this works, but it said it wanted to follow us. That's why I was trying to establish: is it innately evil, or does it have to follow us?
I think your plan is the only plan, so let's do that. At least we know where he is, as you say, and we could come back and get him.
I take it as undead. He doesn't need food and doesn't get affected by the cold or anything like that. Malcolm, is that something that we know?
Scar would definitely know that. He'd know all about the undead. Doesn't need food, doesn't need water, doesn't need air.
They just mostly need killing, really.
You could task him with making the place look a bit better. Paint the walls.
Oh, great! We'll get him to do wax on, wax off, paint on, paint off. We'll come back
Busy work,
and then
right? That's important. Busy work.
we'll
Yeah.
have ourselves a well-trained monk.
Yeah.
Just
So,
spend eternity planting seeds for the forest.
well, is that a bad plan?
No.
Druids? Druids,
hello?
How do you feel about getting them to be planting and tending to the trees in the surrounding areas?
While also watching the Shard then.
Does that help your sense of balance?
It'll be enough. Malamak will just nod, but he's not happy.
What's your solution, Malamak?
Having not heard any of you at the last talking for the last 5 minutes.
I see.
Yeah. Can't really answer that.
It's been a bit of back and forth. We'll come up with a couple of solutions.
So, as a player, if that is the solution that the three of you are going with, then I will go along with it, but not be happy with it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
In the interest of keeping it moving.
Would you prefer if we killed it?
Malamak's key take is, it sounds like through his vow with his suffering as an undead creature, his vow has made him a slave to us. He was once a king. He was once an elf of this forest. I feel that we should release him from this vow. He does not need to do anything for us. It is the right thing to do for someone of his stature. To be planting trees, that's what I feel should happen. We should release him.
Tarvin gives Malamak a sideways look. He was a king of great stature, but he's now an undead. Yeah. Okay. I think, Cal. I think we have a plan, and I think the other two don't have anything bad to say about the plan.
Well, except they don't like it.
Yeah, but they've given no other alternatives, and at least we know he'll be busy. He'll be occupied. We know where he is. Should we find out more about his name?
Well, yeah, I thought we were just discussing whether it should be whether he should be locked inside that tomb, because we can kind of shut that up with the Shardlin, and then he acts as its kind of like guard while we're not here as well.
Perfect. That's even better. Let's do that.
Around.
Yeah,
but
let's do that.
I think the point is that we needed to be able to do that cast the moonlight thing, which we'd have to take the long rest for here, rather than going back to Lowood. And if we were doing that, then we just needed to watch Ravison to make sure that she wasn't regaining her spell abilities or anything like that before we bring her back to the local justice and allow local justice of Mimsy to decide her fate. Isn't that the plan?
Yeah. Yeah. What if?
sorry.
Oh. No, I was going to say, what if Ravison rumbles us to Nimsy and says that we unleash an undead in the forest?
Precisely. Yep.
Well, I thought we were putting it back in a tomb. Isn't a tomb and a mummy, isn't that an appropriate place for mummies?
So the whole thing, though, is that he said how much he was suffering in there. The reason he serves us is because he does not want to be locked away. If he is, I think that we are torturing him, man.
I don't think it's a good idea to leave the what do you call it, the crystals with him either. Only that we don't know what
the crystals. The crystals corrupt. The crystals corrupt.
Right, yeah, we do not want to be leaving it with him then.
Well, that's why I thought we put those in the sarcophagus, and then he's outside guarding the sarcophagus, and he's able to at least do. He's not trapped in the teeny tiny sarcophagus. So sort of like this room over here. Yep.
I don't think we can close that door anymore because you used the knock spell on it, but this one we can open and close because this door's still open from the knock spell.
It is.
Is that the case?
Yeah, this door is still open. Yep, because she did. Remember, she cast Moonlight to open this door, and then she instantly dispelled Moonlight, which shut the door. But then she wanted to get out in the end, so she used a knock scroll to open this door.
Okay.
If it's going to stay open.
I mean, if we could lock him in here for a bit till we come back in the morning and, quite frankly, destroy him. He whispers so that the mummy doesn't hear.
Oh, the moral quandary.
I think that's our best. If we have a change of heart, we can come back. But I reckon that's it. We have to lock him up. He can walk around. This looks like a comfy room up here. It's got a bed and stuff.
Okay, in that case, we'll need to take a long rest. Mullamark is fine with putting him into this room. I thought you were talking about, Cal, putting him in the sarcophagus over here with the Shardlin.
No, I was saying leave him here to protect the area and put the Shardlin in there, and then maybe vandalise the little clue statues around it, so that somebody else coming along wouldn't have an easy time getting into the sarcophagus. Because remember, I just thought we had to stop the Shardlin falling into the wrong hands. So I wasn't saying put him in there, or saying let him guard this area.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. So we'll have
to bring them back.
a
It's
rest.
a bit messy. I don't think it's
A long rest, right?
Do we want to
Yeah,
have a
well-
long rest here, or because we could if we? Yeah. Damn it. Don't we? You're right.
We could take it all depends on whether he's going in behind this door over here. Alright? If he's going behind that door up here, then we need to take a long rest for me to get my moonlight spells back. If he's just going to be hanging out around here in front of the sarcophagus, then we don't need to. Unless it's for health reasons and travelling through the forest reasons. And Ravison doing something to get back at us reasons.
Where is
Well,
Ravison?
I'm whispering. Can't we just order him to stay here? Take Ravison back. Do what we need to there, and then
Yep.
come back later tomorrow morning, and with the and we kill
We'll
him.
just say, yeah, don't leave the tomb.
Yep.
I was hoping for some weekend at Bernie's action, but never mind. Another time.
There's plenty of dead bodies that you can do that with later.
We were floating around with a head for a while, weren't we?
Yeah, I've got the moose head.
That's right. So yeah, if we were to tell him to just stay here and then we head back to the village with Ravison and deal with that first, Ravison first,
Yep.
then come back and deal with the with Mummy, with what's his name, Sinar.
He can just haunt the tombs, but never leave it. We'll task him
Yeah.
staying here. Keeping people out. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he smart enough to understand something like don't kill anybody unless they attack you? Something like that.
That's the problem, though. Even innocent villagers might attack him in fear that he's a monster, which he might be.
Oh, I think if innocent villagers came across him, they would run.
Yep, I
That
hope
would
so.
be their first instinct.
For their sake.
Otherwise,
What
it's just,
power does
if
him-
you take on a mummy and you're a villager, you deserve to be gone. That was the player talking, not Scar.
I wonder what abilities a mummy has. Probably some kind of necrotic damage.
He mentioned
Something, yeah.
last week that he's particularly good at punching things, and he has a when people look into his eyes, they often just fall to the ground unmoving.
Hey, that sounds like a will save, said the player. Should we do that then? Is that it?
Yeah.
We'll leave him here. Head back with Ravison and
I
come
think
back in
a
the
good
morning.
walk will
Clean up
make
the
us help us out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We made a decision. Oh, it's 9 o'clock.
So
Okay,
what
let's do
are
that.
your orders, master?
Stay here. In fact, over the wall over here has been broken into.
fix it.
You think you could fix the wall?
Nice.
I will do as best job as I can.
All right,
Tell him to make sure he's on the inside of the wall.
Well, if he's going to get like stones and stuff and all that to kind of brick it up, so to speak, then he's going to have to wander around a bit. We'll see how far he gets. That all good? What do you reckon, guys? I reckon that's the plan. We've given him a task, a purpose, and we can leave him. Are we planning on coming back within a week or something around like that, so he knows to expect us? Or do you reckon, are we coming straight back like later tomorrow, or are we heading back down to Bremen? I reckon we're heading down to Bremen next, aren't we?
We'll get back here and help him out as soon as we can. Clean up our mess.
Is he a mess if he's looking after the tomb?
There's an evil thing floating about in the open.
Yep.
That's the thing. You're assuming he's evil.
Yeah.
He's just dead. He's differently living.
Well, yeah, he's got memories. He's got a purpose. He's got an oath. And I think the power of the oath is more powerful than good or evil.
Oh, I don't think.
It's
just standing next to him's enough for me. It's the evil coming off him is chills.
All right, well, I think we go then. We've tasked him to try and fix up this tomb, so if we do get back, then he'd be sealed behind, or the Shardlin or whatever could be sealed behind those doors. We can just remember this place if we need to come back. Yes, because I'm pretty sure
Shazaya and Bugs might want to.
Malamak said could remember where he's been. Like he's very good at having a good sense of direction. Is that right, Malamak?
Yeah, I've got this trait that means that I can find my way back to any place in the natural world where I've been. So out in the wilderness, so I know the way back.
Okay, so we've got this place where we could potentially stash any Shardlin or other stuff, and there's also that little Duragar fort up near the cairn. So that we've got potential places that we could go to if we need to hold up or hide stuff.
Need a clubhouse.
Back to Lonelywood to drop off our at the moment prisoner, and then she can face justice, and then justice will decide whether she goes free or not. And then we can go on to Bremen to see if we can do something about this monster that she's unleashed on the lake.
All right. Let's go then.
Okay, so you're foregoing the long rest. You're just heading back to Lonelywood. You're dragging
Not far.
Ravison along.
About an hour away or something. Is that right? Wasn't Lonelywood just down the road, like an hour away or something like that?
It's not terribly far away. Most of the time you spent previously was trying to find the tomb inside of the woods. So a lot of wandering around. But now you can get back to Lonelywood fairly easily. Like we'll say, before nightfall would be straight enough. Would be straightforward enough. Okay, so you're taking Ravison along with you. You've tasked Sinar with repairing the tomb, and when he repairs it, he's to be on the inside of that wall. Okay. You trek through the forest. Ravison's being a bit of a dick and resisting and pulling at her binds and stuff, but there's no chance of her escaping with 4/6 of you, and you make it back to Lonelywood. And what exactly do you do in Lonelywood? You arrive kind of out here, we'll say? What do you do?
Heading for the speaker's house, aren't we?
Yeah, straight for the speaker's house.
Whimsy.
Okay, so head back over to Nimsy's house, knock on the door, and once again you hear the thundering of little children's footsteps thumping down the stairs. They open you up, and they say, "Call everybody, Malamak, Mom! Mom, they're here! Scar, Tarvin, all of them, they're back! And Nimsy says, we'll let them up, Des. Let them up. And do you go inside? And do you go inside with Ravison?
Yes. No?
I would have.
Yes?
I would have
Jail-
put it
jail at the
her outside.
Yeah.
So she's
Maybe just take
bound
it.
down. Yeah.
She's bound, yep.
Yeah.
Can we ask Nimsy to come outside? Mullabak steps up and says, Nimsy, we have some important things to discuss, perhaps away from these children's ears. They have grave consequences. Would you be prepared to talk to us alone?
Of course. Of course. Maybe if you want privacy, we could go over to the old abandoned inn. I don't think we get any more private than that.
Is that cool? Yes, I think that may be wise.
Okay, so Nimsy
there a jail?
asks one of the older grandchildren to just watch her, and she's be out for a moment. Going through the streets of Lonelywood, you come to this abandoned inn, and Nimsy kind of kicks in the door, but it's hard to open. She lights a little fire in there to keep you warm, and she says, I can't notice you've brought a guest with you, and I can't also help but notice that you've got a head of a white moose with you as well. I'm assuming you've ended the threat of the white moose?
We have.
Well, the town is forever in your debt. We can go back to foresting now, and the woods are ours. As I said, we don't have much we can thank you with. Some sugar cookies, perhaps. But you have the town.
You promised us 2 potions.
Oh, of course. And she produces 2 healing potions. And these healing potions, in case you don't know, will do 2d4 plus 2 points of healing damage. So just common healing potions.
Give it to, I don't need one because I can heal, so give it to someone, 1 each to people who don't have healing abilities.
Yeah, Scar can heal as well, so he doesn't need it.
So Kel and Tarvin can take 1 each.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Healing potion.
Just so that we can heal someone else or heal themselves if we need to. But save them up if we can.
Of course.
And just as a matter of note, to drink a potion of any potion, in fact, yourself, is a bonus action. But to feed it to someone else, like who's down, for example, is an action. So just keep that in mind.
Or you can get it. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I was just going to say, Nimsy, the animals in the forest, there was a reason why they were attacking. Told me that your hunters kill, and don't kill for the meat, they just kill for trophies. Would this be true?
Have a look around you, Malamak. People are desperate. They are hungry. We want nothing more than for this endless winter to end. The cold we can handle, an endless bitter cold like that we cannot. When we go out hunting, when we go out fishing, it is purely for survival. We do not have the time nor the luxury to hunt for sport. When we hunt, it is to bring back the beasts and feast on them, not for sport.
Mullamuck looks over at Ravison.
She grins.
This woman here says that she's met you in the past. Are you aware of her?
Yes, Ravison. We've had cordial dealings in the past. Is it true what they say? You are somehow responsible for this? And she says, all I did was reveal the moose's true nature. I could not be held responsible for their actions. And did you know that these people have undead servants working for them? I would suggest you choose your allies a little more insightfully, Nimsy. These are no people to be trusted. They make deals with the undead, no better than necromancers themselves.
Well, the undead that we found at your camp, where you seem to be casting weird spells and doing rituals over your own sister's corpse. That's my dun dun dun.
Oh, my sister was buried. This is what you're supposed to do with the dead. Bury them and maul them. You don't unleash untold evil from the tomb. I did not release this monster.
Believe.
And see, they already
I believe
admitted
you were also
Nimsy.
there when we said we were coming back in the morning to kill it. You were there. You chose to ignore that part of the conversation we had. It's nothing about you that is truth.
See how they twist their words, Nimsy. They don't even deny unleashing this untold horror. And for some reason, they believe the word of the undead. Choose your allies wise, Nimsy.
Well, who do you believe, us or Ravison? Put it that way, Nimsy. Honestly, I think we've done more for this.
The moose here.
Yeah.
All this thing.
This woman is awakening animals, giving them more intelligence than what they need, and this is causing untold harm throughout the 10 towns.
She's most likely
responsible.
why.
She is responsible for this moose. She's responsible for a beast that's been attacking Bremen.
She's probably responsible for the undead
This is our
as well.
next stop. We're going to
Who's
go
to
shut
say?
down that beast in Bremen.
Let's make this a group check. Everybody just make me a straight persuasion roll. I'll say with advantage. Or better roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh, good.
And one more scar. The charismatic scar didn't do quite so well, but those are all perfectly adequate.
That's a 10. That's above my average. Didn't do so well.
And Nimsy says, well, this is, you've showed me nothing but kindness. You went out there and, judging by the gore on the antlers of this white moose, this is plainly the creature that's been responsible for it. So I have no doubt that you, Ravison, are behind these things. But I'm concerned about this undead she mentioned. Let's talk about that.
So we're going to go wipe it out.
You made a deal with the undead, it sounds like?
Well, as it happened in investigating the mysterious elven tomb where she was holed up, we opened one of the sarcophaguses, and we found inside a mummy, and we have the full intention, once we have long rested, to return to that tomb and to remove the mummy from the equation and return it to the status of being fully dead.
Ravison starts kicking. You see what I mean? They unleashed a mummy on the word, and they took the word for it that it would stay there. They trusted a mummy.
You unleashed the moose. A moose.
Nimsy raises her eyebrow at this. Is this true? You unleashed a mummy, and you took its word for it that it would stay there.
He was bound by an oath to serve whoever released him. A powerful oath. He is an ancient being.
Well, Well, I'm sure it said there was an oath. Anyway.
So we deal with one. Yeah.
Well, if you have unleashed the mummy and you plan to return there come morning, I pray for all of our sakes that the mummy is true to its word. I find myself just choking on those words as I say it. It's a literal mummy, a creature of the damned. So what of Ravison, though? Well, we do have a jail here. We could lock her up in there, or we could put her to death. What do you think?
Well, as town guards, we know that the natural justice falls to the speakers and whatever magistrates or judges that the local community sees fit. I think she deserves to speak in her own defence, and we can leave Bugs and Shajaya, both noble characters in themselves, to talk of the events that we have seen while we return to finish off the mummy that we had left behind, is what I think we intend to do after we're able to reach here.
Oh, it is late. We'll have guards watch Ravison throughout the night. Let's all take a moment, take a breath, and what say we break out some cookies and we'll go from there.
Can we hand the her spellcasting focus to Nimsy as well? So Nimsy hands it. Do you want to do that, guys?
Yep, I think I had the amulet last.
Yeah. So if you're happy to do that, shall we do that tonight, or shall we do it in the morning before when we leave? Or
No,
we can
I
give
think,
it to
well, I think it's an act of good faith because we're handing over the justice part and go.
the speaker. That's the thing. And as a druid, if they find their way to forgive her, then and let her go, then Mullamark wants her to not. It's like almost like having your, her powers cut off from her.
Yep,
So-
no, I'm fully with that. If she's, if the jury of her peers or whatever goes for justice around here decides that that is the will, that's why we didn't kill her in the first place.
Precisely.
Even though she
So,
attacked us viciously with those big nasty brown bears.
So yeah, so we had we'll hand her the druidic focus. It was a necklace, wasn't it? Hand it so and in a way that Ravison knows that we are actually literally handing over the justice to Nimsy.
Ravison's just glaring at all of you, and Nimsy says, "Oh, I will hand this to the town guards. Anyway, come, cookies await." So guards come and they take Ravison off to a jail. It's functional. I mean, it's not Fort Knox. It's not Mount Eden prison. It's a cell and an office, and not much more. But it will definitely serve.
As they take her away, Scar gives them the down low on how to, and they've got to keep their hands tied up and all that sort of thing because she's magic-y.
Okay. Okay. So, given the cards the lowdown, you feel confident, and you head back to the speaker's house.
And even more so, don't listen to anything she says.
She mentions a mummy. No, don't listen to that.
Don't listen to that.
Well, our job is to guard her. We'll just do that. We've heard people prattling before. You can trust the guards of Lonelywood. We got this.
Oh, mate.
And you go back to the speaker's house. The children flock over top of you. Hurts a little bit as you've been obviously fairly beaten up. But if you like, you may take a long rest.
Yay!
And I'll long rest up the people who aren't here. Because I'm the DM.
All right,
things
spell.
like that.
Cool.
Why the hell did I do that? Son of a...
What am I doing? I'm taking away this one. And I'm putting in this one.
Okay. That was good. I feel much better now.
Mm-hmm.
After a long rest.
We should
Okay.
get those, by morning time, we should get those 10 temporary hit points back as well.
That's the one.
Yes.
Yep, they come every morning.
Unless the Morning Lord hates on us for hanging out with a mummy.
Oh, well, he knows we're gonna wipe it out.
Yeah.
Wipe it out.
Well, if it's still there, I'm feeling bad about this now, but I didn't have any reason to not trust it, but I'm just a dwarf. You meet all sorts when you're in the guards.
Mm-hmm. Shall we go and
guess.
clean up our mess, boys?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
so-
we just let him tag along.
Well, regardless,
Sorry.
Shajaya and
Bugs.
Bugs are going to stay back and be part of the trial and effectively give evidence. While the boys, whose season 3 is confirmed, coming out in a couple of months, I think.
Yay.
We're looking forward to that. You return, so you're heading back to the Elven Tomb, right? Following, I think, Malamak's sense of direction. You find it fairly easily, and when you get back there, dun dun dun, Sanar is dutifully repairing this wall here.
Give him some tips, and yeah.
So we could get the drop on him.
Do you want to take the lead, or shall I?
Tarvin's
You're the paladin.
staying out of it. I'm sorry, Tarvin's not going to do this. I disagree wholeheartedly with what you're about to do.
Well, you get moral now.
Yeah. I kill the living, not the undead.
Alright.
Malamak. Oh, sorry, go, Scar. Are you going to talk to him first, Scar, or are you going to?
Oh, what's there to say?
I actually just think he's going to be very
Malamak
useful
wants
to us.
to. He'll undoubtedly be useful, but it goes against our core, and it goes against this culture's core as well.
So you still don't think there's any merit to keeping a mummy in a tomb guarding the Shartlin or whatever? That's you think he needs to be put down.
As a
We can
druid, the natural way of things is that if something dies, then it dies and becomes new life once again. Undeath is like completely against the core thing, like everything he was saying to Ravison earlier. So,
It's like a-
So just to check, you've got a DNR order, is that right?
what's a DNR?
Do not resuscitate. Do not resurrect.
Do not resurrect. It's fine to resurrect in certain scenarios, but for him, probably not. He probably, I don't want to spoil things, but if you tried to resurrect me, he'd probably say, no, it's my time's done. Anyway, cool.
well, I think it's 2 against 2. This is going to be awkward. I don't think we should waste him by killing him. I think even his current task is better than killing him.
So did we not learn that he hasn't wandered off and done something he wasn't supposed to do here? He is actually repairing. And so in terms of that oath, do you think that's
Exactly.
not worth doing in his case? His defence?
When we talked to him, he said that he still doesn't feel completely comfortable, but because he's made this oath, he was suffering with his undeath being trapped in a tomb. And I asked him if he felt comfortable, and he said,
you?
to be honest, no, with his undeath. And so I feel for a person of this stature who's been part of this forest, I think to release him is the moral thing to do in terms of restoring balance to his life.
Why don't we ask him?
So when you say release, you mean like
Well,
release farm upstate?
Yeah,
Is
well,
that
that's what I was intending on doing.
Did
but
anyone consider should we ask him whether
That's
he
exactly
welcomed-
what I wanted to do.
Okay,
That's
Alright,
exactly what I
Alright.
wanted to do.
ask away then.
While
Yeah.
you guys are chatting away, Scar's going to look for the highest point around here anyway. That's not a tree. The highest point of the hill or something like that. And just he's trying to have a chat with the Morning Lord.
This is 10 feet up, isn't it?
Alright, it looks like he's kind of meditating and just trying to get guidance on this. He strongly suspects what the answer is, but he also knows that he needs these other two to fulfill the destruction of the queen, of the witch, the winter witch lady.
Scar,
Nah.
do you want to pop over to the other voice channel just for a sec?
Cool.
Alright. Voice channel.
Who's going over there? Scar. Okay.
Scar. We don't need to role play this out, Albert, but the bottom line is when you stop and meditate to the Morning Lord, you get visions of servants before you of the Morning Lord fighting hordes of undead, and it's something that worshippers of the Morning Lord, including paladins like yourselves, has fought the undead. The Morning Lord feels very strongly about this, that this is an abomination, and she would strongly say, no, she's not talking to you directly like she does before. It's kind of like you get the feeling that this is an abomination and it needs to end. And creating a servant of the undead is just counter to everything she stands for. Okay?
Yeah, I suspected that was the case. Cool.
Once again, Scar, you do Scar, but that's what God is telling you. Okay, let's pop back.
I think that sits with me very well.
With Tarvin, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We shouldn't let a mummy come between us.
Tarvin just feels like he doesn't care for the mummy in any respect, but he really feels like there's more here to find out, and he feels that it'll be a waste to dispatch this gift.
Is there a problem, Masters? I am doing this task as best I can, but I live to serve you.
You say that you live, but the truth is, you're living a death. How does it feel for someone of your stature to be brought back in this form?
I've tasted the fresh air of life before, and I have tasted death. This somehow walks the line. I would prefer to be alive. I would not want to die. So as I walk the line, if this is the best I can hope for, then this is what I will take.
You do not feel the pull of rest, the desire to return, to decompose, to nourish this forest around you, to become one with that?
I have life. It is a strange life. I will hold on as long as I can. Quite frankly, being unalive like myself beats the internal embrace of dying. If
And
you
you're
ask me if I should lie down and die and return the cycle, then the same question would be posed to you. You have life. Sacrifice your life for the greater good. It is what you're asking me.
I absolutely would. I have said this many a time in the past. Were the need to come for my sacrifice for the greater good, I would do it in a heartbeat. I've got one more question. When you were alive fully, what did you feel about the undead? Did you have any dealings with them? Did you see the damage they did to the natural order of things? You are unbelievably helpful. And I feel, for one, your intentions are true. But does not your mere existence push the balance to one side? and is a corrupting influence on this. Would you have this lonely wood be corrupted by your presence once more?
It is like looking down upon the thief and heaping scorn upon them. But then you look at the thief who stole the bread to feed his children. You need to understand where they came from. Yes, I look down upon undead. I eradicated them as best they could. But they were mindless zombies, mindless skeletons. I have a mind. I know what it looks like from this end. And it is possible for me to do good. Though if we cut down to it, I vow to serve you. If you ask me to steal the bread, I will steal the bread. If you ask me to slay the king, I will slay the king. But as a servant, I serve, but I will not sacrifice myself willingly for you.
Malamak looks at Scar. He looks at Cal and he looks at Tarvin. He's has no more questions. But
Scar's been returning back from the old hill, the height that he was on.
The height.
And he's come marching back. In that time, this might be a Malcolm decision. In that time, he wants to cast Shield of Faith on himself, and he's drawing his sword as he's walking towards the mummy.
Okay.
With a look of fierce determination on his face,
So you come
which is
back.
pretty readable. he's only got
Goes up. And you see a glowing shield like the Morning Lord, and you're just going straight for the mummy, right? With a look of murder in your eyes.
Tarvin throws his hands up, says, "You're making a mistake. This is a waste."
It's
But
the
doesn't
opposite.
stop you.
Undeath is the
Yeah.
opposite to life.
Ha! Check out that initiative.
oh,
Way to save your own
Might
life,
be a-
Sonar.
I might be able to beat that.
Real rolls are just
Yeah, if you want.
yeah.
yeah.
I'll let you go ahead of me, Scar. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Scar can go ahead of me if you want. I'm more than happy as a player to let Scar have his turn before me.
Okay, so the mummy is no fool. He sees what's going down.
Yes, Scar's not hiding the fact.
So Cal, you're just stepping back?
Man,
No,
this is
I'm gonna take no action on this. So I'm not preparing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm impassive.
Okay, so
Unless-
feel free to move or whatever you like. Actively doing anything?
Right. I'm gonna take one step back. Yep, I'm done.
Something people often do in D&D where they have nothing else to do is take the defensive stance. Which, in other words, if Sonar does decide to attack you, it'll be at disadvantage. Would you like to do that? You muted,
It's
Cal.
gonna.
Let's assume Cal is taking a dodge action since he's not there. Tarvin! Scar is coming through with a look of death in his eyes. Maybe a look of undeath.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I've stated my disapproval of this, but I say I have no part of this. But I will take the defensive stance, but I'll take a step back. I won't draw any weapons yet, but I will definitely be prepared to defend myself if necessary. But I shake my head and I say something along the lines of, "This is a terrible mistake and a waste, and you guys have made the wrong decision."
Okay, so taking the dodge
You're not the
action.
one about to die.
Mother Mark.
Am I able to swap so that Scar goes first? using that rule we discovered last time.
Yep, there we go. Scar.
Thank you.
Yeah, he'll charge in there and since the others have moved out of the way, and take a swing at the creature.
Okay.
It's on display. There it is. Shield up, and that's a good start. I thought he was supposed to be behind me. The Morning Lord, that is.
I gotta do it to you. Sorry, Albert. I gotta do it.
Another
This big, huge build up, and you maybe were too angry.
Oh, right.
Swing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I had to do it. Okay, so come up and swing, but it's just a plain old swing and a miss.
Yeah.
You saw one sipping for a second attack, but you're not quite at that level yet. Malamak, you see Scar full of rage charge up, and he just completely whips. Maybe he's too angry at this thing. What do you do?
Malamak yells out to Tarvin, I'm sorry, but it has to be done. And he steps back over to here, and he's going to cast this little magic stone, throw a little magic stone over him to begin with.
Okay, so
And-
magic stones. Yep.
21.
21. Check something. 21 will hit. Yep.
And yeah, here we go. 7 bludgeoning.
So yes, the stone fires across there and thumps into the side of his head, but it appears he only has eyes for Scar, but that does thump into his head, where he curls back. And if that is your turn, Malamak. Sinar.
A servant does not die willingly for its master.
And looks you dead into the eye. You see utter blackness in his eyes and his barely pinprick of light just coming beyond it. Make me a wisdom saving throw, please, Scar. Perhaps the Morning Lord is with you, Scar. You look into the abyss. Yeah, you do not flinch. But it smiles. Then it
Same angry that made him miss when it made him ignore the abyss.
just shoots out a hand and tries to wrap it around your throat.
Hugs.
And it reaches out with one hand trying to grab you by the throat, but you definitely sway aside. It doesn't even touch you, but it comes back with its other hand. It grabs you by the throat this time and starts lifting you a little bit off the ground, just for flavor. And you take 9 bludgeoning and 12 necrotic damage. So in other words, a total of 21 points of damage. You hear that crunching sound of somebody's eating chips? That's the sound of your neck at the moment. And make me a Constitution saving throw.
13.
Okay, you feel these dirty fingernails dig deep into your neck. You try and kind of push the stuff out, but when Sanar releases you, you can't help but look at these deep black kind of tendrils reaching down from your neck, kind of spreading out from your body. Your maximum hit points, Scar, reduced by 11.
Hi.
One just slowly takes hold of your body. Sanar just grins.
Seems the slave will become the master.
Cal!
Right, well that sounds evil enough for me to be convinced now. I'm up over here, and I will launch into an attack with the battle axe. Go. Oh dear.
while Sinar is not very well armored and he's not moving, he's quick enough to just sway out the way. You cut a bandage, but no real effect. Swing and a miss.
Where's my other one? No, not second one. It's the other one. Might as well action surge and get a second swipe in while
Sure.
we're there.
Sure.
Okay.
This one does connect and you hit into this creature.
And that's 6.
6. Okay, as your battle axe swings and hits this creature, it does a little bit of damage, but you're not really feeling it's doing as much as it probably should. You've swung many battle axes in your time. You're expecting it to do a lot more damage, but it didn't do as much damage as you expected. And Sinar just turns and smiles at you and goes, Cal, is it your turn?
I believe that is my turn, yes.
Tarvin.
Tarvin, shaking his head, reluctantly draws his bow and says, "You guys are like you're going to die without me." So, okay, we'll fire an arrow at the mummy. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Taking a steady shot.
And how about that for a crack roll?
Man, just a
That's not in it.
wide.
Just got into it, eh? Yeah.
A heart is not in it.
Fire off your arrow. But it just flies. It doesn't hit anything. That's a lost arrow. Okay, Tarvin, is it your turn?
I'm afraid so.
You die this day, Scar!
Possibly. Is it his turn?
Yep, it's your turn.
Yep. Yep, he'll roll a dice. Oh, better than last time.
Man, another
Rocking it out.
swing and a miss. You're failing to hit the slow-moving thing, barely armored in cloth. The things in cloth is too much. Okay. Soon that's your turn, Scar, as you keep on whipping. And Sinar is just... Malabak.
So I can't quite see Scar's health bar. Has he got much health there?
31.
Oh, okay. Okay. That'll
And 0
do.
temporary.
Did you...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Does he recognise that? Is that rot like a disease, or was it just a necrotic hit? If that makes sense. You're sort of talking about it being a rot.
Make a medicine check.
Cool. Thank you. Medicine. There we go. +4.
No idea.
No idea.
Could
Okay.
be a curse, could just be damage.
He's seen this no damage going through, and so he feels like his best chance at doing something will be to cast Moonbeam on him. So that's what he'll do.
That'd be nice.
Faster. Oh. And so I just want to put it so it hits him and not the other two lads.
What's the radius of Moonbeam?
5-foot radius.
5-foot radius, okay?
Yeah, so 10-foot diameter.
There you go. Where do you put it? You should be able to drag that around.
Not letting me drag it.
Sure.
It's dragging now. Cool.
Okay, cool.
Can I put it? I'll put it right there, if that makes sense. Snapping to that little border in the middle.
Okay. So,
Actually, can I put it? I'll put it here. Am I allowed to do that?
yeah, you can put it wherever you like, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I want to put it.
So centered until the spell ends. When a creature
Oh, it only hurts him on his turn.
does. Shapeshifter, and it takes your action to move it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the moonbeam comes down and illuminates this area. And yeah, it's holding there and he's thoroughly...
And it probably opens this thing as well, by the way. Because it's on that side.
Yes. Oh, this door was closed when you came back.
Oh, yeah,
but
that
now
was
it is
open again.
It is open again, that is true. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so it casts down, and now it does start its turn there. So
You got to
mummy-
roll a Constitution save.
Okay. Rolls a 5, so it's going to take the full
I got
11
full
points of
damage. And where is it? Oh, I did it. Oh, cool. So I've already wrote that damage, and it's radiant damage. Does it take the full lot?
It is not like this at all.
Ooh.
Let's take the 11 points of damage. He's screaming out in pain. That hurt him. But then he looks at Cal and grins once again.
He says, look into your death scar.
Make another wisdom saving throw, Scar.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. So, 12.
12. Okay. By the way, make me a Constitution saving throw, because you should have made this before to maintain concentration on your Shield of Faith. So let's do that now. So con saving throw. That's enough to maintain concentration on it. Okay, 13 is enough. So once again, he resists his dreadful glare. Then he reaches one more time with his hand
12.
twice to grab... 12. 12 is also good enough. Tries to grab your throat once again, but this time you see it coming and you dodge out of the way. But the second one hits you again. So you take 10 bludgeoning and 11 necrotic for a total of 21. And I need another con saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, you feel the dirty fingernails and that weird stuff on your chest, but you resist that and push it out a little bit. Says
You must die tonight.
Possibly.
It's going to take a step. He has to take a step. It takes a step there to get out of it. Cal.
Alright, well, I think he's stepping to me. I think that's battle axe again. Right.
Okay, you swing your battle axe and hack into him. That does damage. Once again,
7.
Not as much as you're expecting. Does
There we go.
3 points of damage. Half damage. Yep.
Yep.
Sonar just continues to cackle under his breath. Tarvin.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just. I think I'm gonna cast something. Yeah. I'm gonna cast. Is it Hunter's Mark or Zephyr Strike?
No, Munter's Mark. That's the one you want.
Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark will do extra damage as many times as you hit. Zephyr Strike will give you advantage, but just do one type of bonus damage. So it's up to you.
Well, I think I'm going to end up using both. Let's start with Zephyr's Strike. That is a bonus action, so I'll cast that.
Okay, Zephyr Strike is coming
I rolled a 1. Wow. Super.
That's a hit.
That's 2 1s in a row.
Still need to roll to hit,
And
of
it's-
course. So your longbow, you can get advantage on this, so you may as well roll again thanks to Zephyr Strike. You might crit. You don't know. Nope. But regardless, you get a good beat on him, pull back on your bow. Sinks deep into the mummy. So damage for your longbow.
12.
So the longbow doesn't really feel as effective. You feel that the Zephyr Strike itself did some decent damage, but the longbow not so much. He's still grinning, smiling
Magic.
at Scar. Okay, if that's your turn, Tarvin, then Scar, feeling a little beat up, must be said.
A little bit. Melma, is that if Scar were to walk into the
Yeah, you'll take it.
Okay.
You take it. You can hit him from there though. You've got the diagonal.
Yeah, totally. So he'll have to do that because I'm wondering if we try and trap him in there.
I will kill him. The moonbeam's giving full damage to him, and may even be giving more than that.
All right. Well, he might have to try and take it out and then step away for a bit. Because he's hurting. So he.
I'll help you. I'll try and help you, Scar.
Thanks, mate. Gonna need it because I couldn't hit fucking barrel from the inside at the moment.
That one does it.
You're joking.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, of course he's putting his. God, what's it called? I keep forgetting his
Blind
name.
smite.
Blind
Smite to it as well.
Okay.
Which is
So you
hey.
charge up your sword.
Oh gosh, what's the bonus for Divine Smite these days?
You're casting it at first or second level.
Second level, I'm gonna have to.
Then it would be an extra 4d8.
48.
3d8, but because he's undead, you get an extra d8 in there, so 4d8.
Oh, he's gonna have to put everything into it. So he'll do his 40 damage, which is that much. 8 plus is 12. And then another 48. Let's do it over here. Yoink. Another 23.
Ooh.
12 plus 23.
Okay, finally getting the hit you on. You charge up your sword with the divine magic of the Morning Lord, and you remember the prayer that you said to her, and our paladins have been great enemies of the undead. And with that, leaves Sana 2.
Oh, he takes a deep breath. Gonna have to change his undies as well. Alright then, let's give it a proper... Well, he's more saying this to himself and trying to ignore the possibly glaring eyes of Tarvin and Cal as he picks up the remains of the mummy and is taking them over to the tomb.
Malamak yells out, Tarvin, Cal, I can hold this for another 9 rounds. Does anyone want to have a look up here?
Yeah.
Oh, just quickly, Malamuk, can you open that up? Because I'm going to put his whatever remains, if it's cool with you.
It's already open.
Oh, is it? Okay, and then close it once I've dumped it back in there.
Yeah. So for my action, I'm going to move this over to this side. I think is what opens that far one. Is that right?
Yep, this opens
Okay.
the door over here.
I'll
Yeah,
go up to
and
that
so-
door.
Cool. So it opens that door. Then.
Yep.
There we
You
go.
can have a look, and I'll say
Tarvin
out
said-
here.
Remains you can find back in that
Here.
tomb.
There is
And then
in
he
near
starts
Tarvin,
praying to the mum.
you find you find a spell scroll of the knock spell, and you find 2 potions. I'll let you know what they do. I'll link them for you.
The knock scroll, can anyone use that, or do you have to be a magic user of some sort?
Druids, clerics. For you guys,
Was it?
Malamak and Shajai could use this.
Yeah.
Give it to Malamak for now.
These are the 2 potions you find. You get a potion of radiant resistance, which is this, and a potion of vitality, which is this.
Oh, that's cool.
I might need that disease one.
Or maybe I've got a lesser restoration potentially to use on you.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So get out of there quickly because I only really can hold it for a minute. So if you're able to.
Okay. Well, we bring all that with us, obviously. So you can have the scroll, Malamak, and I guess I was thinking maybe the vitality potion for you, Scar.
Yeah.
Whoever can have wants that. And what was the other potion again? It was radiance something.
Radiant resistance.
What is radiance?
It's a type of damage that I do with the. I do it
Moonbeam?
with the moonbeam, and Scar might have some stuff that does radiant damage as well.
Yeah, you're just seeing radiant damage just as I wiped out that His last
Yeah.
hit took out
So
that.
it's kind of like holy damage, like light damage.
That would be a good
Good-
explanation.
good.
Holy damage, yep.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So next time you're attacked by an angel, you get it covered.
Or if
Well,
Scar
it
accidentally
turns on
gets
Yeah.
yeah.
That radiant damage, those cold light walkers, it was all cold damage, wasn't it? It wasn't radiant damage that they were doing to us, was it?
Ah. Cold
It
damage.
was cold
okay.
damage, but they
Okay.
because not all undead are sort of vulnerable to radiant damage, but a lot are.
Luckily, the mummy didn't find that potion.
Can I look up at Scar? Does Scar realise that he's suffering from an effect? Is it still black tendrils around his neck and that?
Oh, yes. Scar is
Not a
one
happy
there.
camper.
So you put
Alright,
Sonar
so
back in here,
see,
is that right? Just to...
Yeah.
Okay.
He's trying to ignore all the pain and stuff of those black tendrils as he's just focused on as much as he can on dealing with the remains of Sonara.
He might come back to life again. We don't even
Well,
know why he did in the first place. Yeah.
Scar's
No,
hoping that
um,
a friend of the Morning Lord might deal with that.
Mullamark wants to just produce flame on the body, just to do
Sonar
some.
just lights up when you produce flame on him. His bandages start burning. And you stop and think, maybe something made of bandages. We should have used fire on it. Might have been more effective.
Scar had that. Oh no, it's not Firefly.
These dry
Yeah.
rags just make him particularly prone to fire. And if you want to, I mean, he does light up. I mean, if you want to leave him, you'd probably turn into ashes before long.
I think that
Close it as well.
we'll close it up
Moonbeam
after he turns to ashes.
Yeah.
Oh no, the moonbeam doesn't open up this tomb. We just close the tomb
Closes
ourselves.
it. Oh, okay, cool.
Has someone added the potions and scroll to their inventory?
I've put the potions into inventory. Just,
Cool.
We'll sort
My
of,
luck, you
yeah.
can take the knock. Yeah, okay.
I haven't done the scroll though. Who wants? Do you do
I'll
that?
take the scroll. I'll take
Yeah.
the scroll and yeah.
What was that that one that heals diseases and stuff like that? Was it a potion?
I've got a lesser restoration. So he's looking at the neck and
that's cool.
says,
Yeah.
"That does not look good. I feel
Scar notices it properly for the first time. You noticed it,
No.
but not properly.
when I cast it, you touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. But there's a certain level of disease. I don't know what
Do you
it
want to
is,
medicine
so-
it first before you decide?
Well, I had a medicine before. I'm not going to roll
right.
it until I get a good thing.
Yep.
I just know it looks bad, but I have no idea what it is. But I'm just going to get my little sprig of mistletoe and just try and force the powers of nature. It hasn't worked on the slard, but maybe it'll work on this neck wound that you've got. You've got to watch out for dirty fingernails. You cast lesser restoration. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I missed it.
Yes, so you cast lesser restoration on Scar, and Scar, you feel this divine energy flow into you, and you, as a reflex, look down at your chest, and the black tendrils remain.
Well, that's not good.
Are they slard?
Slide like.
Slide. I'll give you that for free.
Mullamark is disappointed, but he says, Gar, I think you need to heal yourself up. If you can, and I can heal you too if you want a spell from me.
Scar will heal himself up. To be honest on that.
Lay on hands on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel the healing energy of the Morning Lord, but your wounds remain open. You regain 0
Oh, all of
hits.
them. Oh, okay.
Oh no!
What reverses necrotic damage?
Yeah, I can't. Well, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up. D&D wiki.
Well, no, but or we can roleplay it.
Oh yeah, true.
That
We're supposed
might
to
be
find
a
out.
better
later.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah. How does the rhyme of the Frost Maiden end?
Yeah.
Wiki.
Well, Wiki would probably answer that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mullamark, recognizing that he's trying to keep an eye on him, but he says, "Gentlemen, we should destroy these posts just in case. At least try and knock the markings off them."
Yes, Scar's into that idea.
Yeah.
So do you reckon it's actually magically sealed now that we put the lid back on?
The
No.
ashes. He's burned to ashes. Is he burnt to ashes? Is that right, Malcolm?
Yeah.
Or is he
It's a pile
burning
of
to
ash
ashes?
inside its sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Well, we've done all we can, right? So
Prayer over the tomb sarcophagus thing.
Okay.
And while he's at it, he'll see if the morning Lord will answer to what he can do about dying and stuff at the moment.
Are you talking about Sonara being dead or Scar?
Scar being almost dead. What's the answer? What can he do? Is what he's asking. I don't know. We'll get an answer.
Make a religion check, Scar.
Consistency.
Perhaps I should have made more attention in Paladin school.
He never went.
I do not know what's
And
going
that
on.
hurts his feelings.
So what everybody inherently knows, Malamuk, at least casting restoration, you can deduce that it's not a disease and it's not a condition. That's all you know.
Not a disease and it's not a condition. Cool. Supernatural ability? Is that what this? I don't know. Yeah. All right.
it's an infection, right? But not a disease, a virus. No.
Maybe Mimsy would know. She's a healer.
Yeah, she's a little bit of a healer. Oyumanartok would definitely do, but who knows how to find him. Just
find
a
us.
little bit. I'm struggling a little bit to create a spell scroll for Knock. Is there a trick to it with D&D Beyond? Because do I just choose spell scroll and just describe it?
Yeah, I think that would be easiest.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Shucks, what was that potion? What did it say on that potion?
Oh yeah, have a look at the potion.
Yeah, I'll bring up the descriptions again for you.
When you drink this potion, it removes exhaustion you are suffering, cures any disease or poison affecting you for the next 24 hours. You regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit die you spend. The potion is a crimson liquid. It pulses with dull light, and it's calling to mind a heartbeat. Does that sound right? Guess that's what the description.
It's not disease, but is it poison?
Maybe it's poison.
Oh, be a poison. Yeah.
I will point out that
Let's go
Malamuk
ahead
would
and
know that lesser restoration would remove poison as well.
Okay. So
The corruption or something.
So maybe some sort of magic scrimshaw from the Dragon Horde would help with this situation too.
That's it.
where exactly is this wound on your throat?
Chest.
It started in his
Yes.
throat and the tendrils are going down his chest.
You just got a
Does it look
big
like
hole.
they're spreading, or is it staying where it was from the injury? Should we mark them? That's what you meant to do when you get your old athlete's foot and stuff like that. Us soldiers know that. Get your athlete's foot, you mark it on your foot, and then you see later on whether it's got bigger or not.
Ah.
Yep.
Does it? It's a good idea.
I do have an old soldier's cure for that, because you're meant to wee on your athlete's foot. I could try weeing on your chest.
You're a dwarf, can you reach?
Point.
Um,
We'll head back to Mums, eh? See if she knows anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So with Sonar inside with the sarcophagus lid pushed back into place, takes a bit of an effort, but you eventually do it. It's quite a heavy lid. Scar at least feels really confident that Sinar is not coming back from this. He was somehow blessed, cursed with undead energy, but it's tough to come back from a pile of ashes. And you're going to make your way back to Nimsy and Lonelywood. Once again, the clatter of kids coming down the stairs. And by the time you've caught back, Nimsy said that the town had a meeting. Bugsy and Shajaya talked about what happened. Ravison tried to twist their words and told about the you making deals with the devil, effectively, with the mummy. But the town folk were sort of curious about your decision to leave the undead mummy there. But they felt that Ravison needed to pay for her crimes. And she'll be locked up in the jail cells for the foreseeable future. The town was a bit divided. Some of them just wanted to hang her, but Nimsy was a voice of reason, was a voice of justice, and pointed out that a druid in a cell is perhaps a worse fate than death itself. And the town folks tend to like that. So for the foreseeable future, Ravison will be under constant guard inside of the jail in Lonelywood. Hey.
Justice.
And Nimsy invites you into her house. And the kids jump on top of Tarvin, Malamak, and Cal. But they come up to Scar and they see this ghastly thing going down his throat and I guess under his armor as well. And they back off. And then they said, Scar, are you alright?
Not really. I was gonna point this out to you later when the kids had gone to bed, but I think I'm dying or something.
But what happened? Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, we went to kill a mummy. We killed the mummy, but in the process of doing so, it gave me a bit of a scratch, and well, this is the end result on my chest here, and he reveals a little bit of his armor.
Ooh.
Shows half a nipple.
Oh my goodness, that
A
is horrific.
lot of yucky black stuff.
And she takes a close look at it and says, this is not good, Scar. It is. I can see these tendrils are growing even deeper into you. These are unfortunately beyond my ability to heal, but I think you know who to talk to about this. Do you not, Scar?
Oh yeah, definitely. You might want to give me a reminder though.
Of course.
Annoy him in Carl.
To your lifelong friend, who you've known through thick and thin, who's helped you out down in Bryn Shander.
Oh,
His name is.
Oh, yeah, she's awesome. Let's go. Cal. Just let me check my notes.
See, he does need a wee on you. Yeah.
When the milk
House
gone
of
a
the
bit
Morning
funny.
Lord. Back
Yeah.
in Bryn Shander.
We do a quick Mishan mission.
You need to go, Scar. Just go. We've got Ravison under control. Go with as much haste as you can to Bryn Shander. What are you waiting for? Go!
I'm gone.
All right.
I'm with him.
To the XP.
To the X-Peaks.
Thanks.
All right. So you all jump
Finally.
on to the X-Peaks. And this is still fairly early on in the morning. Maybe 11 a.m., something like that. And you press on through the cold and the thunder and the rain and the snow. And you just go straight past Tourmaline, not even stopping, I imagine. And thundering through. As a question, are you going to Targos?
No, we're going to have to cut the corner. We have to cut the corner. Otherwise, we get stuck there.
Okay, if you want to cut the corner, roll me a d20, please. Let's say Malamak. Roll me a d20.
I do have that wandering thing if we've ever done it, if we've gone somewhere before, but yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. Okay, cool, just checking.
Good.
This is going off the beaten path type roll.
An 8! An 8!
You thunder through the wilderness, hoping that, there's lots of people travelling on this. Guards patrol the east way, but nothing here. Fortunately enough, nothing goes through. And you bound into Bryn Shander with all speed.
We're cased.
Okay,
Yeah.
and just straight to the house of the Morning Lord, I imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Indeed.
Oh,
Okay.
so we're off the road.
So you enter the relative peace of the house of the Morning Lord. You see Mishan there dealing with the sick and the dying. I mean, some people just get sick and they die. It's unfortunate. You see Mare there helping out as best he can, the little tiefling you saved from the
Hey, the
devil
fella.
worshipping temple. Yeah, Mare is there. He
Is he going, mate?
seems to be he seems to be taken to the path of the Morning Lord, and he's helping out and bandaging as best he can. Obviously his skills are limited,
Okay.
but he's trying. And Mare looks down a bit shy, but you can't help but a faint smile coming over Mare's lips. You do not go to the mouse of the Morning Lord, that's for sure, but you do go to the house of the Morning Lord. And Mishan says, well, it's always a pleasure to see you. What can I help you with? Oh dear God, Scar, what is that?
Yeah, well, me and my friends were playing with a mummy. You know how you always said, stay away from the mummies. Well, yeah, we didn't. And then I got cut, and then here we are.
Oh, sit down. Let me have a look at it.
Thank you.
And
So,
Mishan looks at this ghastly wound and says, so a mummy, you say?
that was a king one. Used to be a king.
King mummy. Well, this gets
I know, right?
worse and worse, Mishan. But hold still. I think I can help you with this.
I hope so.
Mishan places a hand on your chest. You see the black tendrils forming around his fingers, and he starts pulling and pulling and pulling, and these black tendrils snap out of your chest, and he grabs them in his hand, puts them in a little ball, kind of rubs his hand together, and then poof, in a flash of flames, it's gone. And whatever it was, it is now gone. You can get those maximum
Never cease
back,
to amaze me,
return.
my friend.
and you seem to be good.
Do we know what it was? Could we ask? Was it necrotic? Or was it something else?
Well, I've read about this in books, and you should have known about this, Scar, if you paid a bit more attention with the teachings I gave you. This wasn't a disease. It wasn't poison. It wasn't some type of necrotic thing. You were cursed, my friend. You were cursed with mummy
Oh,
rot.
that's not good. Muddy rot.
Mummy
That
rot.
explains
is
the
thing.
smell. Alright, well, thank you once again, Mishan. Your religion, mate.
No problem. I believe Speakish. I'm forgetting names.
Divisa Shane.
Divisa Shane, yes. Speaker Shane. I think she mentioned if you came to town that if you could speak to her. So I don't know if you have more pressing matters, but
Only
do you
a
need
sea
some-
monster.
Before we go there, do you need some healing, Scar? Do you need cure wounds or something like that?
Yeah, I figured we were going to stay the night here anyway, since we're so far off the beaten track compared to where we were going.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, we've got a slide
But
and
yeah,
Tarvin.
healing would be great.
I'm going to cast 2 first level Cure Wounds, I think, to help you out. Here's one. And here's the next one. So 22.
It's
Thank you.
Max, thank you.
Oh, cool. And yeah, sweet. No, that's all I wanted to do before we go and speak to the speaker.
Okay. Just a second. Get my notes in order. Where is this? Sorry, just give me a sec. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so so you go up and meet Arveiaturace. She's in the town hall, mulling over the things that keep speakers and bureaucrats of her nature amused. And you see her, and she's talking to somebody. Oops. There's one.
Sorry.
Where the hell are you?
Sorry.
You see, it's a half elf. Just by his garb, he's dressed fairly nicely, and Arveiaturace is in deep talks with him. Kel, Malamak, Scar Tavern. Pleasure to see you as always. You'd be pleased to know that the Cauldron of Plenty, while it's caused me no end of headaches, the bulk of the population is getting at least one warm hot meal per day. And it's almost not just the meal, but that feeling of warmth that gives them from the inside out is truly a blessing. I believe you've received a message that I wish to talk with you.
That's what we're here for.
Well, the town of the Bryn Shander, you've done us a favour, no doubt. As I said before, a blessing and a curse, but we'll take it any day of the week. So the people are fed, but the nights are oh so long here, and we use whale oil to keep the place afloat. Now, unfortunately, our whale oil supplies are way down, and morale was brought up by the cauldron, but I can't help but feel it's lagging again as the town is effectively plunged into an even deeper darkness during the evening hours. My friend here, Halka Jagarath, and Halka gives a nod, as I said, half elf, so slight elven features, still retain the blonde hair and the lithe form. Halka here is a whale oil merchant, and some of his shipmates, he has learned, has been stranded out on the sea of moving ice. They're out there. Halka assures me he can find them, but the ship that they were traveling on are sunk. They managed to retrieve their whale oil stocks, and if you would be so kind as to accompany Halka to help him retrieve the items. And then at this point, Halka takes over and says, "Yeah, my men, they're out there. They're cold. They're dying. And of course, if we could get this whale oil back to Bryn Shander, it'll A, save my men's lives, B, light up Bryn Shander. Now, the problem is getting out there. Some of you might have heard of a rumor by a creature called Angajuk. Now, Angajuk is in fact a great whale. It is a whale that can talk and has been known to ferry people around the Sea of Moving Ice. But it does not, it will not take kindly to the fact that we're retrieving whale oil for it. I'm going to call it fish oil. But even then, Angajuk is, shall we say, not a fan of people. She's seen people hunting whale. She's destroyed boats. She's a little more lenient on the fishermen. But if we want to get out to my men, we're going to have to do some type of deal with Angajuk. Maybe those more attuned to nature might have a better idea about what to do. But as a rule, she is not friendly, but it is possible to make friends with her. Now, as I said, this is desperate. It'll help the town. But if it makes any type of difference, I can pay you 150 gold pieces up front if you agree to do this. So, Divissa Shane says you're the Order of the Beak. So, Order of the Beak, would this be something you consider helping me with?
Something we need to talk about. Because
Yes.
we want to get to Bremen as well, don't we?
Well, leaving from here, Bremen is kind of on the way. We were hoping to do that, and I don't suppose you've heard any rumours about what was the name of the ship? An old ship that has been trapped in the ice. Whose name is on the tip of my tongue? I'm always forgetting these things.
Malcolm,
Oh, yeah.
You think he's trying to say the Dark Duchess?
The Dark Duchess, yes. Have you heard any rumours about the Dark Duchess being a sailor? We were wondering, because we too have reason to search out that boat.
Well, the Sea of Moving Ice has claimed many a vessel. It seems perhaps as if our goals might align here. We need to go to the Sea of Moving Ice. Perhaps the Dark Duchess is out there somewhere.
Have you ever...
I reckon that's somewhere we should investigate.
Yes.
So you're paying 150 up front. Do we get anything once we complete this task?
I could do another 150 gold pieces with the return of my men, if they're alive, and the whale oil back to here, which will raise spirits here in Bridgender. Now, you mentioned you had business in Bremen. I can't emphasize this enough. My men are out there. They're cold, they're hungry. I'll be surprised if half of them are alive by the time we get there. We need to make haste.
Alright, one more question. Have you ever witnessed a great dragon flying over here?
I have seen Arveiaturace, or the White Death as people call her.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her over the Sea of Moving Ice. And, I mean, other people have seen her in the spine of the world, and just flying across the plains. Basically, I hide when I see Arveiaturace. But she has been known to frequent the Sea of Moving Ice, if that is your question.
Are there any rumours as to its lair?
The Dark Duchess is a potential part where, they said that the Scrimshaw could be. Is that right, Malcolm?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So the Dark Duchess is that potential lair.
I thought it was an unrelated Scrimshaw.
No, there's a Scrimshaw that Oyuman Tarok requested. He said on the downside, it's part of the horde of Arveiaturace. And you suspect that the horde is probably in the spine of the world, but I don't know, it's like a needle in a haystack type of thing. And possibly it could have taken up residence in the Dark Duchess, so there might be the horde. Some of the horde at least might be there.
Okay, let's start with the Dark Duchess. Okay. All right, let's go rescue these townspeople.
Yes.
Yep.
Are you happy to just as a player, is everyone happy to leave Bremen for another day?
You can do that on the way back, yeah?
Yep, I fully
We
rested.
can do it on the way back, and we've also got some kobolds in a mine that we might not like us too much as well. Just FYI. But yeah, just talking about the loose ends. Let's go to the Sea of Moving Ice.
Let's go.
Okay, I will point out there's a couple of other loose threads as well. You know that
Oh,
the
yes, it's
honey mead has stopped throwing from
Yep.
good mead. I don't know. Honey mead sounds delicious to me, so that would raise spirits. And Dugan's Hole, I don't think you've even visited or had any rumours, but might be something.
Names
Just
it all.
keep these things in mind.
And also returning that thing to Sky Tower Shelter as well, and the Wormdoom Crag and that sort of thing. So
And there's
the
a
Lost
lake
Spire of the
monster.
Netheril. Yeah, the lake
And the lake-
monsters at Bremen.
Yep.
But we've
Yeah.
also got the Spire as well, which is something that Shajaya is interested in. So just FYI, there's quite a few loose ends.
Your quest
Oh,
line
the
is-
Yalmut. Yeah, the Yalmut as well. The giant technology. All right, cool. Let's go to the Sea of Moving Ice.
Okay,
Let's get
so
going. Is this dude coming with us to
Yes.
help us with his name?
yeah,
Oh,
yes, yep, Helka is coming with you. And
Let's
not
go.
only that, he can give you the exact location of Angajuk's bell, which, if you don't see it, is right here. Okay, he has his own X-Beak, and
Do we have a rest before we set out, or what's the time?
well,
I don't need a rest.
you could have a short rest, if you like.
I wouldn't mind taking a short rest just to get some spells back, if that's okay.
Okay, we'll say Halka's making arrangements and getting things organised,
Yeah.
and during that time you can take a long rest if you like.
Short rest or a long rest?
Oh, sorry, short rest.
Short rest.
Definitely not
Cool.
time for a long rest. He's going to hurry.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I'm going to take one of those back out. Cool. I don't need to do the short rest thing because I've already, I'm at full health. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so mounting your X-Beaks, you head once again. This time, the initial part of your journey, you're going around Targos.
I think we have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting... Yep. So we'll say you just skirt around the outside of Targos. You're going to stop in Bremen or just blast straight on through?
Whatever the.
I thought we were having to ride fast.
Yeah.
So what was that?
We're riding fast.
You're riding
So-
fast, so blasting straight through.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so... yes, exactly. I was wondering about that for a second. So you push on through the wilderness for really maybe the second time, apart from the Yeti that you took on. You head out into the vast wasteland of the majority of Icewind Dales here. Let's say Scar, roll me a d8.
Shizzle. 5.
5. And roll me a d4 twice, please.
12.
Oh, sorry, I meant 2 separately, but that's alright. So you rolled 1
Oh,
and
sorry.
3. That's alright.
Yeah.
Now roll me 2 d20s.
Ugh.
There's a d20 twice.
Oh, D20. Okay. Ah, shit. And
Okay. Everybody make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Oof.
7. Nice. 11. Keep it coming.
I got 19.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
Go up.
19. Oh, at disadvantage, good. Tarvin, I think. Tarvin.
Yeah, at advantage or disadvantage.
Disadvantage, because
Disadvantage.
blizzard type conditions.
Okay, there we go. Sorry for that.
Right,
What?
that's right. 7. So everybody, apart from, what was it? Cal,
Hell.
has got their head down and blasting through it.
What type of terrain would you say this is, Malcolm?
It's fairly flat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like imagine like the Antarctic is technically a desert, that type of thing. Just flat, dry, the odd rolling up and down. Now you see are sticking out of the ground. What looks like a human being, sort of on this slight mound in the snow. You see, so at the top of this just mile right, at the top of this thing, you see the top torso of a human. And it's Malamak, you see it, as you see the other guys just mindlessly heading more or less towards this creature. What do you, sorry, not Malamak, Cal, you see this here. Cal, what do you do?
So I think this is time for watch out in front of you. Time to scream without warning.
Yep, so you yell out the warning. The rest of you guys stop. Your half-elf companion definitely stops.
Yep.
And say everybody make me a history check. Okay, thank you. So you see this half of a human, probably like buried into the snow up there, and then just below his hips, I guess. So you don't see his legs, but you see the upper part of it. What do you do?
So looking at it, it's looking dead, or is it a statue? Does it look like a living thing?
It's
can
not
I-
moving, but from this distance,
What kind of distance?
all you can tell,
What kind of distance are we at?
say 100 feet or so away. Lucas says, "Is this really our problem?
Maybe
The
we
man's
should
buried
get
up to
around
snow.
it.
He's possibly dead. If he's dead, well, God's bless him. But is this our problem? Just leave it alone."
We can make a.
It could be one of your men, so maybe we should check it out.
Oh, that's not one of my men.
How can you tell from 100 feet?
Would you like me to look closer?
Well, no, we were going to go a bit closer, but should we go out with sort of like weapons drawn type thing? What do you reckon, lads? We'll go around.
Look, what are you
yeah.
thinking? We have men to save. This person is obviously almost certainly dead. Can't we just leave it alone? My men are waiting.
Let's see if there's a personal belonging, or we get some indication we may be able to So the heartache of someone. Let's just have a quick look. I think.
Scout draws his sword, jumps off it, gets his XP closer, I suppose.
And Mullamark's going to stay on his X-Beak, but sort of follow up.
Well, isn't Tarvin, aren't you the only one who's still mildly stealthy? Not really.
Yeah,
Stealthy on
wouldn't
an
say
X-Beak,
really.
just
I'd say
putting it out there.
definitely.
Yeah.
These are legs sticking out of the ground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we
Sticking
scared
out
of?
of the snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are stealthily approaching by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I always best I can with an XP.
Yeah.
You can't stealth.
Tarvin gets off his X-Beak and
Yeah.
Tarvin gets off the X-Beak and steps towards the legs.
Keeping a good eye on this thing as we approach.
Is
Yeah.
anybody on their X-Beak?
No, well, should we get...
Tarvin's going to go. Tarvin's going up by himself, isn't he? And we're just at the back keeping an eye on it, right?
What's that? What's happening?
Okay.
So
Or, no,
Tarvin,
well, you,
so Tarvin, you're
Mullamark-
sneaking up, and the rest of
Yeah.
them on X-Beaks ready to flee, I guess.
or
Yeah,
run
yes.
in and save you.
Okay,
So,
Tarvin, make me a
stealth
stealth
check.
roll. Yep. I'll say at advantage because it's a snow round. So stealth at
happy to.
advantage.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Natural 20. Very stealthy.
Where'd he go?
Okay, you sneak up and you climb the slight rise and so on. And you get a close look at this man. Judging by his robes and his the clothing that he wears, you're almost certain that this person was at some point a wizard. Now it's very much a frozen corpse. As you sneak, get a close look. It appears he's you can just see behind his back there's some type of almost looks like a leather seat of some sort. As if he's sitting on a leather seat. And you only see the back of it. You don't see like what he's sitting on, but you do see the back of this leather seat. What do you do, Tom?
Yeah. So, in order to search him, would I need to dig him out a bit? Is that what you're saying?
If you wanted to see what he's sitting on, sure.
Yes, I wish to do that. I can't leave a mystery behind. I need to find out what's going on here.
Okay, so taking a deep breath, realizing that this thing isn't going to move you, you start searching through his beings. And give me a second. Let's get these rolls out of the way. Describe. Let's make me a dexterity saving throw, please, son.
Okay. Terrible. Well, I'm stuck in the snow.
Well, what happens is... By the way, Albert, this is the worst possible roll. This is exactly what you didn't
Awesome.
want to roll. So the rest of you staying... How far back are you? 100
We were
feet?
100 feet, weren't we?
Feet. 100
And
feet.
you see...
Wasn't it 300 feet?
You see this hill that he was on, that I described several times, starting to move and starting to shift. And as it moves and shifts, who was it? Tarvin takes a stumble back and he falls back and you are prone on the snow.
Okay.
You hear a deep grumbling noise. And Arveiaturace shakes off her snow.
I found him.
There it is.
And you see it blinking its eyes. And it turns to head straight towards you, Tarvin, looking down at you in the snow and says, "Are you
my slumber.
Very sorry, Mr. Dragon, sir. I did not know you were there. My apologies. Please forgive my trespass. I'll back away. As you were.
You are not forgiven.
Uh,
You are not dismissed. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't eat you right now.
Everybody, except for Tarvin, please make me a perception check at disadvantage. You definitely see the dragon. That is, you don't need one for that, but everybody except for Tarvin make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Perception.
Okay. 8. Okay. And one more.
One come through.
Oh, yours.
I'm 2.
2.
2. So I
Okay.
spotted it, then looked completely the other way.
Whoa, and who could blame you? First of all, everybody make me a wisdom saving throw.
Tarvin as well?
Yep, everybody.
Not wisdom. Oh, not too bad.
Actually, I have to do this as well. This is bad, by the way, Tom, in case you haven't realised this already.
Yeah, this is shocking.
So I'm just going to roll for your XX as well. 5 of them. I'm taking 5. I'm going to roll an oddly shaped D5. Decided D5. Let's go. Okay. So, the X-Beaks see what's happening, and they are just absolutely freaked out. And they all just woof, take off, including the one that you were riding, Tava. They just absolutely flee and take off. Scar, you're absolutely petrified of the sight as well, and you're hoping your X-Beak will run, but it stays there just staring at this creature. Everybody else, regardless of whether you made your fear saving throw or not, your X-Beaks just turn and head in completely the opposite direction from this dragon. Some of them, in fact, scatter. They go in all different directions, and if you stay on your X-Beaks, you lose sight of your companions. So let's go through this. We'll get to Tarvin in a second. But Malamak, your X-Beak has turned and it is fleeing into this blizzard that's raging around. What do you do?
Can I make an animal handling check? Is that a possibility? To try and haul it in line, if that makes sense?
Yes, but the difficulty class is going to be very high. You're trying to calm a terrified creature. You can try.
In which case, then I might try a speak with animals
Okay.
to try and get it to calm down. So I'm going to cast that.
Okay.
Cool. And
What do you
just
say?
say, so what did I forget what I called it? I think I called it Shard of all things. Shard, please stop. Well, we need you to hold fast, please. Please hold fast.
So you
Your
cast-
bravery will be appreciated.
So speak with animal is cast, and you feel you're reaching into this creature's mind. It's terrified though, but you reach into it, and all you hear is just absolute fear, absolute panic. We're going to make it an animal handling check. Normally it would be a disadvantage because it's terrified. I would give you an advantage since you're speaking its language. So just a flat animal handling roll to try and get your steed under control.
Okay,
Straight
so
roll,
it's
Melanie.
a straight roll.
Yep, disadvantage because it's afraid, advantage
Yep.
because it
Yep.
keeps going. 13's not enough, it just takes off. Okay, so Scar, you're cowering back in fear at this creature, but your axe beak is just staring at it. What do you do?
Freak out, I suppose. There's
Oh,
nothing
you are
we can
freaking
do,
out. That's a
right?
given. You are frightened. So
Yeah.
here's the
Anything
thing
you
that it
can
will
do,
mean practically is you cannot voluntarily move towards this creature, and
Oh,
if you
that's
attack
right.
it, it's at disadvantage. That's what it means practically, but of course, role play it out as best you see fit.
And if I attack, it's at disadvantage. And my X-Beak is not running away. I wonder if... Okay. Far out. He's going to... So this thing is attacking us, yeah?
You see it
No.
looking down upon Tarvin. It hasn't been technically
Okay,
attacked Tarvin.
alright, then... So it's not attacking Tarvin yet. I
No,
just
but it's-
don't...
It's leering over Tarvin. This massive jaw. The jaw is almost as big as Tarvin. This thing is massive.
Alright, if he can find the words, Scar says, pick on somebody your own race, and fires a sacred flame at this thing.
Okay.
Which needs a dexterity roll, and his intention is to then, hopefully the dragon will chase him, and he'll run on his beak, X-beak.
Sacred Flame has a range of 60 feet.
That's right, he'll shoot it in the air. He's just trying to get his attention, I suppose. To be entirely honest, he just wants to get his attention.
Okay, so a warning shot. So you fire it towards Arveiaturace, but it doesn't quite reach it.
See, he cannot literally move closer to him, can he?
Nope. Nope.
Okay, so yeah, he'll just shoot it and yell out as loud as he can.
Okay, we'll get back to that. It's a good effect, but I want to know what Cal's first.
Spurring my X-beak along. I'm assuming I'm off on some random tangent direction.
Yep.
So I'm heading for any local hills or valleys or somewhere where I might get protection.
You didn't really say
run
that.
away.
Your X-beak is terrified and it's fleeing. You
Yeah,
don't have a
and
say.
I believe I'm attempting to hold on for dear life. Is that the standard part for this? That's
Do
what I'm.
but you can hold on if you like.
Yes.
Okay, so just letting the X-beak take you away. Okay, so Cal's X-beak you see disappear into this blizzard around this dragon. Tarvin, you attempted to get control, right? But you lost control. You didn't do it, so you're off into the distance somewhere. I'll say your guide as well as also somewhere off into the distance. Scar, luckily or unluckily, your steed is not scared. It rolled a natural 20 on its saving throw. I rolled randomly because I didn't know which one it was, and yours was a number that came. Tarvin, this creature looking down. It says,
You have woke me from my slumber. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't just eat you right now.
It wouldn't taste very good, actually. I have a disease. I have a slant inside me, which is poisoning me from inside. Okay. Maybe I can help you. If you let me live, I could work for you. Honestly, mean you no ill will.
okay, so at this point, I'm going to say a sacred flame just whoops over the top of you. And it explodes nearby. And you see Arveiaturace's head flip in that direction. And you Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please, Tony?
Oh, it's hit me. Okay. Constitution saving throw. Here we go. Ah, such terrible rolls tonight, honestly. And last week.
So this is what I'm guessing only Scar will see. Well, first of all, Scar, make me another Wisdom saving.
Hello.
You shake your head off. You are no longer afraid of this dragon. But as your flare goes off, boom, you see it take an enormous breath of air and it just shoots out. It gets almost to you, but then it doesn't quite reach. Seem 100 feet away. It's a little bit too far for it to even drag its best. But you see Tarvin in front of you caught the full blast of this dragon's breath. And Tarvin
Bang.
falls to the ground. And this dragon then roars and starts not even flying, just boom, boom, boom in your direction. Okay, I'm going to do an ad-lib battle here, but that's okay.
Battle? It's a massacre.
See. Okay,
Can we see the wizard on his back?
the wizard? Oh, well, if you look at the picture of him, you'll see
Yeah.
he's riding on a saddle, which is the back of the leather thing that Tarvin saw. It was the back
Yeah.
part of the saddle. Get body on here. So we'll get Tarvin on there. He's in a whole heap of trouble. Scar on there. We get an X-Beak that Scar is on to the map. That big. As it was. That big. And so all the way back over here.
I sure wish we had a mummy.
Tarvin is there. You are prone on the ground cowering before this dragon. And worse yet, you're frozen and you're dying. And let's get to what
Am I-
everybody's interested in.
Am I dead?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what Scar saw as this dragon breathe on you, Tarvin. You don't have cold resistance,
Okay.
do you, Tarvin?
No. Oh, he's not that big.
Actually, is it? Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
So let's roll for initiative. I want you to roll as well, Tarvin.
Okay.
Can't click on my token, so
Natural 20. Why can't I do that when I'm doing Constitution saving throws?
Well,
Alright,
if Malamak or Cal... Oh, no,
Yep.
let's... I'll put you on there. Keep in mind what you heard was a dragon's breath. Say you heard that. It's hard to miss. And I'll drag you on there, but it's going to be tricky for you to get back. But just for the sake of initiative,
Yeah.
get you back on there. So, Malamak. So you're not really there, but roll into initiative.
yeah, I rolled a 3, sorry. I did it before you put me in there.
Okay.
You guys should just
Watch how you
jump off the
fix it.
aspects.
Just roll again correctly,
Oh yeah, cool.
and then just edit your initiative to 3. Oh, shame. There ever was a wasted natural 20, that was it. Yeah, there we go.
just chucked myself up in the trees there, and so that I'm not in the middle of the battlefield. If that makes
Sure,
sense.
sure. Yeah, so Cal and Mel aren't. Cal and Mel, there we go. You're scattered. And I'm going to put on your red marker on your token 100, implying that you're 100 feet away on the map. Because X-Beaks run really fast. And that's how far they managed to get. Tarvin, for the sake of argument's sake, can you roll to me privately? And if you don't know how to do that,
No, I don't.
type in that. Without the questions. And that'll roll just to me. And don't obviously say what the roll is. So that is a dex saving throw. So you know, and I know what that means, but once again, Sky just saw it before, he doesn't know if he's dead. So that's how we're going to play this out. So Tarvin, thank you. Cal!
I don't know what it means, but okay.
Well, I'm assuming then, now that I've calmed down a little bit, I'm going to turn my steed around and head back towards the sound of the fight.
Make me an animal handling check. You're out of sight of the creature, so that helps.
Well, not really.
I'm going to say the X-Beak calms down, but refuses to turn around and go back, so he's still 100 feet away.
Alright, well, can I attempt to leap off and, at my pitiful speed, charge back, dash back?
You can. So you abandon your X-Beak and you head back in the direction of the dragon. So your dwarven speed is now 50 feet off the edge of the map.
Yep.
Scar, not afraid. I can't help but feel I need to mention this. This creature has a challenge rating of 20.
Yeah.
You are not defeating this
Easy.
dragon.
No, we need.
We got this.
No. Speak to it, Scar. Speak to it. Do something. Calm him down.
Was it my turn?
It's your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realise. Yeah, well, he will move half the X-Beak's movement towards the dragon, whatever that is.
You can move up to
And then
50 feet
he's
if you
going
want.
to dismount and prostrate himself.
Okay, so
Throwing his sword to his side and just prostrate himself in front of the great and mighty dragon's name that I remember because he's got such good memory.
Arveiaturace?
Yeah.
Arveiaturace?
it is.
Arveiaturace. Arveiaturace.
And what do you do exactly?
Oh, great.
So you prostrate yourself, throw your sword
he
down?
prostrates himself and throws the sword to the side because he knows there's no way he's going to take out a dragon of that size. And says, "Oh, great and mighty Arveiaturace, I beg your mercy on behalf of a friend who had no intention of waking you from your slumber.
Are you
We're not worthy of
speaking in
you
Draconic?
wasting your breath on us." Absolutely speaking in Draconic, yeah.
Oh, I
Okay.
should have tried that trick.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Here we go. Ugh.
Arveiaturace. He steps over the corpse of Tarvin,
Crunch.
barely paying him any attention. He leers over you.
Cal's not even looking up.
If you did look up, you'd see his breath is just cold and you can just feel the coldness of this creature just leaking out. check at disadvantage since you're prostrated. Make a perception check. 11. Just as you're about to bow your head, you see Arveiaturace approach you. And it's slightly odd, because he was here and he kind of starts wandering off this way first, and then he kind of gets his bearings and comes down and finds you. And then you look in his eyes, and his eyes appear to be kind of a little milky. You suspect this dragon, in fact, a little short-sighted. Whether or not you can use that to your advantage, no. But that's what you know. It's short-sighted. Didn't go directly towards you, which is odd. And then he seemed to find you and lock onto you, and when you look into his eyes, there's something there.
Says you have prostrated yourself before me. I shall feast on your corpse.
Bonjour then.
He's going to take a fight detection. Advantage because you are prone on the ground. Does a 27 hit?
Just
21 piercing and 9 cold. So they're resistant to cold, that'll be a total of 25 damage.
I was oh man.
And at the moment he appears to just be Malamak.
Malamak once again tries to talk his ex-Beak into heading back. He says, he actually tries to intimidate it in a Mark Todd sort of fashion of like, come on, you stupid.
Okay.
That was charisma check then.
Intimidate it. Well, I'm hoping to,
Very good.
yeah.
For the win.
So from a different plane of existence, somewhere that is covered with long white clouds, you hear the voice of a Dumpo Olympic medalist calling out to you and inspiring you. You can have a Mark Todd D4 to your roll as your animal handling.
And a flat animal handling, is that still
A
flat?
flat animal with a D4 thanks to Mark Todd.
Okay, well, I'll throw that. And that's 18. Do I need the D4 maybe?
No, you don't. But roll it, because Mark
Okay.
Todd, how often does Mark Todd help people out?
That's a,
All right.
that's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. So Mark Todd inspires you to not be terribly nice to your mount, and it turns around and it takes a dash action, and you can get right there where your token actually is. If you like, it's up to you.
Oh, I'm to the end. And yeah, and so that's the dash, so that's my entire turn, isn't it?
No, that's the X-Beak's entire turn.
Oh, okay, cool. And so...
Where's the check? I just got it.
That's another inspiration.
That's a joke, I think, only New Zealanders.
He can see what's happening out here, and there's not much he can do actually off the top of his head, because that's too far. Wait, hold on. I just need to see how far away his Scar, which is a little 70 feet. Yeah. Where is my thing there? Just looking at my healing word. No, I'm out of distance, so I can't really do much. I'm going to leave it at that.
The X-Beak took its turn. The X-Beak took you here. Now you have your turn.
Oh.
You have movement, you have actions. You
I
have actions.
have movement. So dismounting, does that cost me movement at all?
Cost you half your movement.
Half movement.
Okay, I'm going to jump down and go 1, 2, 3. That should get me to within. Yeah, that should get me to within. Yeah, cool. And I'm going to cast Healing Word on on the old mate Tarvin.
Okay. So,
Cast.
healing
Oh
word
man, this
goes
is
up.
nice.
Oh, sorry, 6 is the first one. I didn't realise it would.
This confirms for you guys the first time that Tarvin did not instantly die. Tarvin had 6
Oh, cool.
6 hit points. You see
Oh,
Tarvin.
we didn't know there. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Right, but still prone. I
Oh,
imagine.
you're still prone, yeah, because you fell over. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's me. That's the maximum.
Thank you,
of my
Malama.
movement and everything.
Yeah, Tarvin. Thank you.
Tarvin.
I'll pick myself up.
Half movement.
So I'm behind the dragon, and I can see Scar is prone. Is that right?
Yeah, well, Scar prostrated, got on his begging position, prostrated himself before this thing, and the thing just took the bite on him, and you see Scar just staring this horrendous sight when this dragon appears to be toying with him.
Bloody hell. I don't. The only curious spell I have is Cure Wounds, and it's a touch spell. So I can't do that. I'm wondering if there's. I will cast a cantrip
Okay,
to distract the dragon. Dancing lights,
alright.
and I will cast it somewhere over here, perhaps, just to grab his attention. Hopefully, to buy Scar some time.
Okay.
Take himself back up again.
Pop up at this, about here, this sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe he'll think he's dizzy or something.
Okay. So I think that's an action to do it. What else to do?
I will move as far away from the dragon as I can towards this tree line, so out to 5, 10, 15, 20. About this far as I can go.
Okay, and as you awake, you see the make me a wisdom save.
Oh, you said it's Scar.
That was Tarvin. Tarvin.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Tarvin
Here it
was
is.
scared of this dragon.
Yeah. Not
Okay.
surprisingly.
But dancing lights. Dancing lights spell. Start taking off. Cal, what's Cal doing? You're running on your dwarven
I'm still
legs.
50, so if I do another dash, I will be on the edge of the map. So I believe that's what I'll be doing.
Yep, so you're right here. Actually,
Yep.
there on the map now. Scar.
Okay. He will. He'll just into what the hell? It's a bonus action. He'll cast shield.
Okay. So shield pops up.
Yeah. And then he'll attempt to jump on the X-Beak.
Okay.
Mount it.
Let's get the X up there. You stood up and mounted it. Concentrating on your shield spell. Shield of Fate, technically. The X-Beak is kind of standing in shock, so let's use your movement and use your action. Any bonus actions you wish to use?
Kicking the X-Beak if he's still got any bonus actions into action.
Okay, so it's a
Run, little
an
fella.
animal handling check to try and get this X-Beak moving. You should be rolling its own initiative.
Is that a persuasion animal handling? Or is it actually?
Animal handling.
Oh, there it is. Sorry.
Animal.
There it is.
Yeah, you drive the spurs or whatever into it, not falling upon Mark Todd. The X-Beak starts moving. As you're moving away, Arveiaturace take an opportunity attack.
I take it the dancing lights can distract him.
Cantrip with pretty lights. It's gonna try and bite you again. Jaws come and snatch at you. There's an 18 hit.
No! We're at 20 at the moment.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that
Jake's
brings your
shield.
shield. It comes to take a bite at you, but the Morning Lord throws up the shield and via the protection of the Morning Lord deflects off. But the dragon isn't hot pursuit. It's after the Scar. But
Scout's trying to move towards the tree line, just FYI.
okay, we can say spur the X-Men.
Oh, that tree line here.
Oh, I tell you what.
It just looks thicker.
So you get right on the edge there. In other words, that's you turn the X-Beak around, head north, taking off. The dragon looks furious. It's a hot pursuit. Get down with your turn, Star.
Yeah, I'm just. I don't know if this means anything, but his intention is to jump off the X-Beak at the first given opportunity and make sure the X-Beak keeps running.
Okay. Arveiaturace. Doesn't like these running. And you see it start flapping its wings. And flies up, going directly after Scar. And
All of these.
the AC is 20 at the moment, right?
Yes. See you later, X-Beak.
Okay. 53 points of damage. As this mighty tail just whoops, knocks you off the X-Beak, you fall to the ground.
Oh, no.
Starts clawing across your chest, and then grabs your lifeless body, throws it up in the air, you crash down and it takes the bite out of you as well.
So has Scar fallen?
He's dead. Yeah. Oh, dying. Sorry.
He's dying?
No, I should have said that. Needless to say, your concentration phase on your shield might be the least of your problem. No, what do you do?
I'm going to... The only thing that I really can do is
Yourself, man.
Yeah, and I will. I'm going to cast Healing Word at a second level.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, that's only 9 healing. That's okay. And then I'm just going to run. Oh, I'm going to run away this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just running that way. Because you've got 9 healing, Scar.
Hey, thank you.
As I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. As this thing knocks you off your horse, off your mount, and starts thrashing at you, feel consciousness fade. What does Scar say as he feels he's holding the trouble? Just before you lost consciousness, what do you
It's
say?
probably call out to the Morning Lord.
Saying what?
Help me, Morning Lord. I think it's over. See you soon. Otherwise.
So as the dragon finishes you off, well, takes you down to the side, you see how slight and free to get you out of this seeming impossible situation. Arvin!
Boy, okay.
He's frightened.
Yeah, I am just gonna run into the trees
Okay.
and attempt to hide.
stealth check.
Oh, actually, that should be a disadvantage, sorry, because I just realised I'm wearing scale mail, so I'll just do that. Okay, it's 21.
And make me a wisdom saving throw as well to see if you're no longer afraid.
Oh, it was a 19, then it rolled over.
So you're
Good
cowering,
one.
cowering in the bushes.
Yeah.
Cal. And you see this thing just chewing on scars. And you see his axe beak just taking off as well. Like both axe beaks should have been damaged, so take better off it and anyway. Cal.
Alright, well, I'm going to head towards the nearer X-Peak. Oh, I think this might be dash action for the distance that I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, 40 feet. Attempt to grab the reins or mount the bird. Does the bird look injured?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'm going to attempt to get onto the X-Peak.
Technically it's going to cost half your movement to get to the X-Peak, so you can get to the X-Peak, but you can't quite melt it just yet.
Okay.
Okay, so you get up there getting ready to do whatever it is you're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that healing did work on you, Scar. So whatever that healing was, 9 hit points on Scar. Scar?
Alright. Yep. Oh, sorry.
Now you're up.
Alright, got a dragon standing. He's gonna need to play dead.
He'll eat
You
you.
know what? He's gonna be killed. He's gonna go down fighting, I think. No, he hasn't given up yet. He will attempt to play dead.
Okay, make a deception check.
Perception.
Yep.
Deception.
Deception, yeah, because you're not really dead.
20.
Performance.
That was meant. Oh.
A deception, not perception. Deception.
Oh!
Because you're not really dead. So we'll take your
So that was
18.
8. What
Yep.
what
Oh,
was
that would
your
be 21.
deception
It's
rating?
21 then.
21. Okay.
So that's 21 then, yeah.
Alright. So as you lay there on the ground, Arveiaturace Trixie, you think you can deceive a dragon?
I think he did. Damn it. So wish we had a mummy to feed him right now.
44 points of damage. Scar?
Oh yeah.
As it just lays into you as you're prone on the ground. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And... Okay. Malamak.
Yeah, so I actually missed a lot of that because my connection dropped out. But I see that Scar has gone down again. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. He tried to
Alright.
play dead, but the dragon saw through it.
So what? Malamak's just going to. He's just going to try and sprint, like do a double movement and sort of dash away. He sees Cal down the far end, so he's just going to run across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The last thing he said before he died this time was "Run, you fools."
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. He's running that way. He's trying to take one. That was a double. That was a dash action.
Okay. At the end of your turn. Oh, there we go. The dragon, using a legendary action, is going to swing its tail and thump at Scar on the ground. Hit. So you failed 2 death saving throws, Scar. Harvin.
Can I roll the wisdom saving throw first?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. Happen at the end of your turn, but absolutely.
Okay, yes, there we go. That looks good.
21
Okay.
is enough, I think. Yes, that's enough. So you're no longer afraid at the end of your turn.
I will, I have a range of 150 feet. I'm going to attempt to distract the dragon by firing an arrow at it. See what happens here. I will cast Zephyr Strike as my bonus action first.
Okay, so this is going to be a straight roll. The Zephyr Strike will give you advantage, but because of the wind, it will give you disadvantage. So just a straight roll.
I thought I don't suffer any disadvantages because of my marksman, whatever. Where is it?
You're a marksman feat.
Yeah, sharpshooter.
But you were scared. I believe if you're under fear, then you're at advantage anyway.
Oh
is it?
yeah, you're feared at when you cast it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So straight roll.
Actually, I won't cast Zephyr Strike. I'm just going to purely, I will. That's true. I want to do as much damage with this as possible. Okay, so I'll just cast that, and then add disadvantage. The Zephyr Strike's not a disadvantage, just the...
Sorry, if you have 1,000 disadvantages and 1 advantage, it's just a flat roll. So you get advantage for Zephyr Strike, disadvantage because you're afraid, and disadvantage because of the wind. So bottom line, it's a straight roll.
Okay, so no Zephyr Strike.
Yeah, Zephyr Strike's giving you advantage, but disadvantage because you're afraid and all sorts of things. So
But it
you
also
hit
gives me
the arrow.
1d8 damage, yeah?
Just
Okay.
a straight roll,
All
you're
right.
still going to hit.
Okay.
Back
Ooh.
on your arrow, firing at it, this ancient white dragon, and it just clicks off its hide.
Yep. Yep. Wah wah. Didn't distract the
you are.
dragon. I will, yes, I'll hide in the trees. Yeah, yep.
Okay, stealth check at disadvantage.
Yep. One. Wow. That's like my 4th one tonight.
Oh man.
Okay. Scar. Made a noble act to try and save Tarvin. Tarvin, it seems, you see him as this dragon lies on top of you, about to bite you and end the life that is Scar. To the death of Scar. Which is Scar's final words.
Oh, I hope I didn't leave the oven on. No. Final words. I don't know if it's got any final words.
Avenge me.
Yeah.
Now.
I think he's been ready for death for a while. It's about the 12th time he's gone down, so he's like, see you soon.
So as Scar says, see you soon. Arveiaturace takes a final bite. And you see Scar, you're a friend for a while now. You chewed and spat out. And Scar, the friend you know, has died. And with that, Arveiaturace flaps its mighty wings and flies away.
North. Make note. Oh, Scar, this is not good.
Oh, wow.
See you later, Scout.
On a brighter note, if you could roll a wizard now, we can have a wizard in the party.
That's what I'm thinking.
Obviously roll up a new character, Albert, but
Yeah.
we'll-
Has he started
another
level-
paladin rolled up, and then I think I don't want to do a paladin. I want to do a wizard or something. Sorcerer maybe.
Will he start at
obviously-
level 4 or 1?
Yeah, level 4, absolutely. The level
Oh,
you were
cool.
before.
Okay, sweet.
You're all level 4, weren't you? Yeah, level 4. So roll up
Yeah.
a new level 4 character, and just let me know sometimes
might be
during the
sorcerer.
week, and we can talk about
Yeah.
your wizard a little bit. But that,
Probably be a sorcerer just because there's less bookkeeping.
that's right, wizards.
Bang on
study.
9 o'clock.
Warlocks and sorcerers just get it. So,
They don't get all
Well-
the intelligence checks though, all that sort of thing, because they don't do cast from intelligence, if that's right. I think they're charisma. Anyway, sorry.
Yes.
That's a sorcerer, yeah. Well, I didn't expect the dragon to be there
No.
at all.
I said it was exactly
That-
the wrong roll.
The others,
Oh, right.
like,
Was there like a
should
chance
we-
to...
should we
something
tell
else?
them what it is, or just tell them to make sure you listen at least to the final hour? Listen to the final hour of it. Just not tell them what happens. Just holy moleskins.
Considering the first 2 hours are purely trying to decide whether the mummy Basil got it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we really could have used the mummy right then as bait.
He would have been with you, got blasted by the ice, and been gone as well.
I task you to run towards the dragon.
Now, interestingly
Yeah.
enough,
We
interestingly
could have
enough,
solved the slard problem.
It's true.
I thought I was a goner, yeah.
Just as Scar falls. So interestingly, the thing you rolled on the random
Yeah, encounter or whatever.
yeah, you rolled 2 encounters,
Yeah.
and one of them was a dragon, which, as I said, is the worst roll you could have possibly made. And the other, just as this dragon is falling down, an old friend appears. Oyman Tarak arrives. on the
Oh.
scene. So, we'll pick it up from there next week with
He would have figured out how to solve the slide problem by now.
Is the dragon, so the dragon's flown off? Is that
The
correct?
dragon's
We
flying
sort
off.
of.
He went north.
Wow, that's
Probably
right.
to his
Cool.
lair. North.
Wow, what a huge end. Oh,
So the
yeah.
reason I'm going to say I mean, it is short-sighted. It's fine.
Yep.
I just played it out that it probably sniffed around for you guys a little bit. Actually, couldn't find you.
Yep.
And leapt up and left.
Board. Yeah.
Well, couldn't find you. So, dramatic conclusion, gentlemen.
Yes.
Who would have thought the Dragonborn would be killed by a dragon?
Me.
Ironicals. Yeah.
And of course, in a very real sense, Scar saved Tarvin.
Yeah.
So, if there is a way to go out,
Yeah, that was heroic. Thank you,
it's a good way to
Scar.
go out.
That's a very Paladin. That's a
I hope-
Paladin
Yeah.
way.
I hope you're in a better place now, and every time I see the sun rise, I'll think of you.
Just name your firstborn Scar.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Right,
there's
guys.
some laughter.
My
because
firstborn will be a
another
slard.
character who died in actually really similar circumstances. One of the player characters literally started crying. She was
Oh,
very
yeah, yeah.
upset by the death. But
Oh, I'm
we'll
crying
see.
on the inside.
So we'll see. Let's deal with the repercussions of Scar's death next week. Dum, 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 dum. Okay,
I was
thank you,
fully
gentlemen.
prepared to